Welcome back. It is the Cronulla Sharks taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The game is the 7:35 blockbuster at PointsBet Stadium on Super Saturday. It's the final game of that day. Looking at the Cronulla Sharks side, William Kennedy goes into number one. Sione Katoa, Jesse Ramian, Serafai Talakai, Ronaldo Militano, Matt Moylan, Braden Trindle, Toby Rudolph, Blake Brayley, Brendan Hamlin, Ueli, Britton Lacora, Teague Wilton, Dale Finucane, Cameron McInnes, Wade Graham, Orion Kafusi, Jack Williams, and Connor Tracy, obviously in the number 18 jersey. Big out here. Nico Hines is out with a calf injury. He has been replaced by obviously Braden Trindle. It's a tough one. I think if you would have asked me before the news broke that obviously, Nico Hines was out, I probably would have been sitting on the fence and probably siding towards, obviously, the Cronulla Sharks in a tight 1-12 affair. I'm kind of sitting on the fence now. So, I guess, how do you see this Shark side? Not the score, because we'll talk about, obviously, the Rabbitohs first, then we'll get a score prediction 1-12, 13 plus. But how do you see this side operating without Nico Hines that was so influential, obviously, last year? And obviously, why I asked you that question, someone's this side going?
Yeah, I would have been the same if I didn't hear the news about Nico Hines, the Dalian winner, being out. I would have been sitting on the fence too, but they lost two forward men as well, so let's take that into consideration as well as Nico Hines. So it's really a bit of a shake-up in the middle of the pack, especially with their seven. Not to say that Braden Trindle won't get the job done for himself. William Kennedy will be there sniffing around for an offload here or there. Dale Finucane loves those big meters. Watch him offload. Watch Wade Graham come out and have a big year too, because I think he's there is reports of him either going to over to England, or he's going to hang up the boots at the end of the year if he does not get a contract extension, which will be a shame to see, because I think that man, I think Wade Graham was just a powerhouse machine, especially when he played for New South Wales and then sort of found himself out of the squad due to head knocks and injuries. So it'll be a good contest from the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. So hopefully, with South Sydney Rabbitohs coming up, I know I can announce them here.
Go for it. Take it away.
Here you go. Latrell Mitchell is back. The man. Latrell Milk is back in the fullback role. Alex Johnson set to be the highest try scorer yet again on the wing, with Isaiah Thompson, with Isaiah Tass and Campbell Graham in the centre role, Cody Walker and Lachlan Ilias in the halves, TT and Thomas Burgess in the forward roles, with Damien Cook at the hooker, KK and Joe Arrow in the second row position, with Cameron Murray in the 13, Black Tafe in the 14, MCK in the 15 role. That is not Machine Gun Kelly, just to make sure no one's getting confused there. That's Davey Moore in the 16, Shaq Mitchell, which is his brother, in the 17, and Jed Cartwright in the 18 role. Look, this is like the Cowboys. This is a squad that's really unchanged for the most part when they're up running and firing on all cylinders. So it'd be hard to look away from them, but as I said, I was sort of leaning towards Sharks. Now Nico Hines is back. I think I'm going to have to lean towards South. I have gone mostly home teams in round one, but this is a game where I'm going to have to go with the South Sydney Rabbitohs purely on the base of minimal changes to their squad.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. Obviously, the only really, I guess, minor changes is Tane Milne still is serving his one game left on his suspension. Hame Sele is out with a calf injury, but other than that, it looks quite set for the Rabbitohs. like you said, I think if Nico Hines is playing, we have an absolute grind fest here. We have an absolutely close game. It could go either way, but with obviously Nico Hines out, Latrell Mitchell's with a point to prove. Alex Johnston, he was a bit quiet in the Charity Shield, but I do think he will get this season going, and he will obviously put some points on the board. So I'm going to go South. I'm going to go 1-12. Is there anything you want to add before we obviously do move on to Sunday night football and Sunday afternoon football?
Yeah, can we get a score update for the live match between the Eels and Storm? Because my app is just crashing. And at the moment, I've got it 12 all with 68 minutes on the clock.
So it is 12 all, and Cameron Munster and someone have just had a head clash. So there is a stoppage in play, but Parramatta have the ball 30 metres out from their own line. So we'll see how that one goes, but it is still 12 all, and who knows, we might have our first golden point before the night is up of the season. But Baxter, any last words, obviously, on these two teams before we do jump into those Sunday games?
Nah, really, let's just crack into those last two games, eh?
Well, let's crack into it. Obviously, we will be back very soon. We'll talk about the Dolphins taking on the Roosters in their first ever competitive game as the Redcliffe Dolphins in the NRL. And then obviously we'll talk about the West Tigers taking on the Titans to wrap up this week's episodes. But Baxter, I'll talk to you soon, and peace.
See you there.